him, and he would have given you living water.
I am the woman at the well. I am a woman of no distinction, of little importance. I'm a woman of no reputation, save that which is bad. You whisper as I pass by, and cast judgmental glances, though you don't really take the time to look at me, or even get to know me. For to be known is to be loved, and to be loved is to be known. Otherwise, what's the point in doing either one of them in the first place? I want to be known. I want someone to look at my face and not just see 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth, and 2 ears, but to see all that I am and could be, all my hopes, loves, and fears. But that's too much to hope for, to wish for, or pray for, so I don't, not anymore.
I am the woman at the well. Now I keep to myself, and by that I mean the pain that keeps me in my own private jail. The pain that's brought me here at midday to this well. To ask for a drink is no big request, but to ask it of me, a woman, unclean, ashamed, used and abused, an outcast, a failure, a disappointment, a sinner. No drink passing from these hands to your lips could ever be refreshing, only condemning. As I'm sure you condemn me now, but you don't. You're a man of no distinction, though of the utmost importance. A man with little reputation, at least so far.
I am the woman at the well. You, Jesus, whisper and tell me to my face where all those glances have been about. And you take the time to really look at me. You know me. You actually know me. All of me and everything about me. Every thought inside my head, every hurt stored up, every hope and every dread. My past and my future, all I am and could be. You tell me everything. You tell me about me.
I am the woman at the well. That what you have said, if spoken by another, would bring hate and condemnation. Coming from you brings love, grace, mercy, hope, and salvation. I've heard of one to come who could say words like me. And here in my presence you say, I am he. To be known is to be loved, and to be loved is to be known. And I just met you, but I love you. I don't know you, but I want to get to you.
I am the woman at the well. Let me run back to town. This is way too much for just me. There are others, brothers, sisters, lovers, haters, the good and the bad, the sinners and saints, who should hear what you've told me, who should see what you've shown me, who should taste what you gave me, and should feel how you forgave me. For to be known is to be loved, and to be loved is to be known. And they all need this too. We all need it for our own. I am the woman at the well.
I am the woman at the well. I have been hungry and thirsty for love all of my life. I have holes so big in my soul that I have tried to fill with so many different things, but time and time again, they just leave me more thirsty for love and more hungry for affection. Nothing has satisfied my soul. Even from the time I was born, I had no fighting chance. I was born a girl, not the favored gender at the time. My culture didn't seem to think that women were of much value. Parents would pay for musicians to play at the birth of their children, but always with the hope that it would be a boy, and then a time of great celebration would follow. But when the midwife would pronounce that it was a girl, sadness would fall upon the room. Parents would look at each other with great disappointment in their eyes. The musicians would leave with their heads hanging down in shame, playing a sad to let all of the neighborhood know that the parents were in mourning over the birth of a daughter. Did you know that there were men that thought themselves so righteous that they would even close their eyes upon seeing a Samaritan woman? They were called the bruised and bleeding Pharisees because they would rather fall, they would rather trip over a rock or walk into a tree than to have to look upon a disgraceful woman like me. As if my gender wasn't enough of a problem already. I was born into a race called the Samaritans. Many years before I was even born, Assyria conquered Israel, and they took most of its people into captivity. The invaders brought in colonists from Babylon and from other places to resettle the land of the Israelites. These people brought with them their pagan gods, their pagan practices, and so eventually the Israelites that were left there, they began to worship those gods alongside the one true God, the God of Israel. They also intermarried with the invaders. Of those that had been carried off into captivity, there remains this remnant of faithful worshipers of God, who eventually were permitted to return to rebuild Jerusalem. And when they returned, they wanted nothing to do with the Samaritans, who were a mixed race of disloyal people. Hatred and religious indignation was all that these faithful Jews had for the unfaithful Samaritans. I couldn't control that I was born a girl. I couldn't control that I was born a Samaritan, but that was my life. It was one of constant put down, of constant shame. I hated my life. I hated the Jews. I hated even the Samaritans. Eventually, I began to hate myself. I didn't think that I had much worth. But I soon realized that I had one thing that most Samaritan men wanted from me. I could give them sex, and for a brief moment, I could feel loved and wanted and beautiful. But just when I began to get attached to a new man, he would walk right out of my life and move on with another woman. This confirmed over and over in my mind that I was a nobody, that I was unlovable, that I had no worth. You would think that I would learn. But yet, time and again, I would find myself in the same cycle. Another man would take notice of me. I would be willing to give him anything that he wanted in order to keep him. He would stay for a short time, and then he would leave me heartbroken. And then I would try to fill the void with another man. And the cycle would just repeat and repeat. I can tell you that it got to the point that even that brief moment of intimacy with a man didn't satisfy the desire I had in my heart to be known, truly known and accepted. I wanted to belong, but no matter what I didn't belong. I didn't belong among the Jews. I didn't belong among the Samaritans. I didn't belong anywhere. Other Samaritan women obviously had the same rejection. Their parents had also been disappointed at their birth. They were also despised by the Jews and other races. But somehow, other Samaritan women seemed to find a bit of heaven amidst the hell of life. I never understood why I was so different, why I couldn't be happy, why among the low I was the lowest. I wanted to fit in with the other women, but even in grade school I felt pushed aside. I had no friends, no clique, no group to call my own. So when I started to use men as a fix to my brokenness, this just caused other women to hate me all the more. They were so cruel to me, so I started being cruel to them. I hated them, they hated me. I hated being around them. They couldn't bear to see me. And honestly, I couldn't bear to see them either, so we were even. In my The earlier the better, before the sun came out. It would get very hot in the barren Samaritan desert where we lived, and it was really hard work, carrying that much water from the well all the way home. But I never went in the morning. I didn't want to be around the other women, because I knew they didn't want to be around me. So I didn't mind the extra harder work, and it meant that I didn't have to listen to those women whisper rude remarks about me. If it meant that I didn't have to put up with their judgmental stares. But one day, everything changed. The day started like any other day. I waited until midday to go and get the water. I wanted to make sure that all of those women were long gone. So I was drawing out my very last bucket of water when I noticed a man walking towards the well. But I could tell that he was a different kind of a man than the ones I was used to knowing. This man, he was gentle. This man, he was kind. He was not forceful or authoritative. He looked at me with deep compassion, not lust. He didn't talk at me. He spoke to me like I mattered. He quietly asked me if I could give him something to drink. It was a simple question, but it shocked me. It was shocking. I couldn't believe that this kind man was talking to me. But when he spoke, I recognized his accent. He was a Jew. I couldn't believe it. Jewish men would rather hurt themselves by walking with their eyes closed than to look at a Samaritan woman. And here this man is not only looking at me with the kindest eyes, but he's acting as if I could help him. I can't even remember the last time anyone asked me for a favor or asked me for help. No one really even talked to me, much less acted as if I could offer them help. But here this man is asking for my help. I should have kept my mouth shut, enjoyed the company, and just graciously given him some water. But no, when I blurted out, surprised even me. I said something like, "You are a Jew. And you guys think you are way better than us Samaritans. Your kind typically would feel disgusted if you had to shop at the same stores that we shop, eat in the same restaurants that we eat, use the same outhouses that we use. And here you are, asking to drink from the same cup as me? Who are you?" Well, I didn't actually say, "Who are you?" But that's what I was implying. That's what I wanted and needed to know. Who was this man? It's as if Jesus knew what I was thinking. And he wanted me to know that even though I didn't know him, he already knew me. He said to me, "Go call your husband." I quickly looked away. Husband implied that I had a family. It implied that I belonged to someone, that someone belonged to me, that I was in a loving, committed relationship, and that someone protected and stood up for me. Oh, that question hurt so deeply, because though there was a man that lived in my house, he wasn't any of those things to me. So I quickly blurted out, "I have no husband." It was too hard, too painful to be honest. It was too painful to be judged by this new friend, too painful to be real, too painful to admit my life of sin. I wanted to cover it up, to pretend just for one more moment that I was okay. This man, he didn't know me, he didn't know my reputation, and I wanted him to stay my friend. So yeah, I half lied to Jesus, the Son of God. "I don't have a husband," I quickly said. To which Jesus adds, You are right. You have had 5 husbands, and the one you now share a bed with is not your husband. And just like that, in a moment, Jesus showed me that he knew me. He knew my dirty little secret. He knew who I was. He knew what I had done. He knew the shameful lifestyle that I had lived. He knew my hurt. He knew my pain. And even though he knew all of that, he was still talking to me. He was still asking me for a drink. He was still giving me this offer of a lifetime supply of living water. Most Jews, they did everything in their power to not walk through Samaritan territory. Even if that meant walking a longer distance, they would gladly do that in order to avoid encounters with my kind. But here was this man named Jesus. He had walked through Samaritan territory. He had shown up at the well at the time of day where he knew that only the most broken women of society would be found drawing water. And in one simple conversation with Jesus, everything changed for me. I had tried to protect myself by hating everyone around me. I had tried to protect myself by building walls around my heart, by treating others like they treated me, by acting that their insults did not hurt me, by locking myself up in my own secret life of sin and shutting the world out. But one simple face-to-face conversation with Jesus made the rocks I had used to barricade my heart come tumbling down one by one. He knew everything about me, ladies and gentlemen, and he still wanted to be my friend. You see, to be known is to be loved, and to be loved is to be known. All my life, I wanted to be known and to be loved. The secrets inside, they were eating me alive. I wanted someone to know my story, and yet I refused to share it. But Jesus, he knew my story. He didn't force me to share it. He shared it with me. I tasted of his grace that day. One taste of it, and I was hooked for life. It was the very thing that I had been looking for all of my life. I tried to satisfy my thirst with so many things: broken relationships, sex, anger, racism, self-loathing, selfishness, crime, you name it, I did it. But one sip of the fountain of his grace began to heal the deep, deep hurts I carried. Brothers and sisters here today, perhaps like the woman at the well, you also have reasons to barricade your heart. Maybe as you look at your life, you think, my life isn't fair. I started several steps behind everyone else in the race of life. Maybe you were born to parents that truly didn't love you, or were not ready to be adults, or were not ready to be parents. Maybe struggles that you've had academically or physically just feel so unfair and unjust. Perhaps you have also been put down one too many times. Perhaps even abused. Perhaps judged. Perhaps you have been called unworthy. Or you just simply feel unworthy because of the life that you have lived, or due to the sin that other people have committed against you. But today, Jesus offers you the same thing that he offered the Samaritan woman, the woman at the well. Today, the Holy Spirit offers us the opportunity to exchange the lies that we have believed about ourselves, about God, about others, and exchange them for the truth of his word. There are lies that try to enter into our mind and take over our behaviors. Lies that say you are incapable. But today God's word says you can do that you are worthless. And today Jesus says you are worth every ounce of his precious blood at Calvary. The lie says that you are alone. And today Jesus says, I will be with you always, even till the end of the age. This dialogue, my friends, in Scripture, is the longest recorded dialogue that we find between Jesus and any other human person. That's incredible! It's the longest dialogue that we find. And it's not with Peter, one of his disciples. It's not even with John, the beloved disciple. It's not with Jesus' mother or his siblings. It's not with any other human. It's with this woman at the well. And it's the only time that we find that Jesus just outright tells somebody to their face that he is the Messiah of God. At other times it's implied in conversation, but this is the only time that Jesus is so forward about who he is. He didn't want her to miss it. He didn't want her to walk away and miss this opportunity. He didn't want her to walk away unsatisfied and unfulfilled and full of shame and a slave to sin. He wanted her to know that he was the Messiah of God. He is the Messiah of God. And still today he offers forgiveness. And still today he offers freedom. His love is relentless. It will not give up. We can push it away a million times and his love will still pursue us. It does not give up. It goes to extremes to find us and to offer us afresh and anew his peace and his joy and every fruit of his spirit. The Messiah, he knows you. He knows all about you. And even still, he invites you to the deepest friendship that you will ever know. Scripture tells us exactly what the Samaritan woman did in response. She ran in freedom and with great joy to tell everyone that she had found the Messiah. Perhaps you love this story and you have heard it a million times in your Christian walk. Maybe you've been walking with Jesus for a long time. Maybe it's been so long that it's hard to remember what it feels like to be the woman at the well. Perhaps this promised spring of living water that Jesus offers us feels a little dry. Perhaps the joy in this woman as she ran doesn't feel so real to you anymore. Perhaps you can't think of the last time that you were so overtaken by what Jesus has done for you that you ran to tell your friends who Jesus was and what he meant to you, and that he still offers dreams that transform. I don't know how it is that we ought to respond today. But I just know that this is God's word, living and active, that is offered to us today. I believe that his spirit is here and at work in this church body, in this community. And that this word, living and active and by the work of the Spirit, it can do things that we cannot do. So let us go to the Lord in prayer with a heart that is ready to hear from him. Whatever way you want to respond. Maybe there's someone here today that would say, that is my story. How did it get in Scripture? That is my story. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. If that is your story, don't walk away until it. Don't walk away without drinking the water that is for you. I believe, brothers, and sisters that here today there is someone that needs to be transformed by this reminder of the relentless love, the pursuit of God with His grace. And perhaps you have been walking with the Lord a long time, and you just need that healing touch. You just need that reminder that this is also still for you. Perhaps it's just been so long. It's hard to remember. It's hard to find joy. It's hard to feel that spring of living water flowing through. Let us go to God and just say, here we are. Here we are, Jesus. Almighty God, we don't know what to do with passages of Scripture that just are so countercultural to what we see in the world. The world tells us that we are valuable and we are educated. The world tells us that we are valuable and we make a lot of money. The world tells us that we are valuable and we do this or we do that, or we know this person or that person. But in your kingdom, in your economy, God, the last will be first. In your economy, the shepherds spend great time and great resources seeking out the sheep, the one sheep that is lost. In your kingdom, oh God, broken things are made new. And so today, God, I don't really know what all you want to do in the hearts of your people through this word. But I would guess, God, that there are hearts that are jumping up and down, that are leaping with joy, saying, that is my story. And I pray, Jesus, that they would not walk away unsatisfied, because you are still God. You are the Messiah of God, and you are the one that fulfills. There is no need, God, for anyone to walk out of this space today and go and try to fill the voids with other things, because they will never satisfy. You are still a God that breaks chains. You are still a God that breaks cycles of destruction. You are still a God that restores and redeems. You are a God that is faithful. And so I pray for my brothers and my sisters today that feel like the woman at the well. God, may they hear today that you love them. May they hear today that every lie of the enemy will be broken in the name of Jesus. God, may they hear today that there is a reorientation happening today, that you are reorienting our hearts to you, recalibrating our hearts to you.